Look at this.
I will be able to help you with the contact details of them. Would you mind ringing them and reporting this issue?
No, that's not a problem. I just want it sorted. So our new engineered hardwood flooring has been down about 2 months, and we've been doing a lot of DIY in here since, like installing skirting boards, painting doors and other things, well, not necessarily in here. And to keep it clean to the best of our abilities, I asked you for advice on which robot hoover you would go for, because I don't really like hoovering, I must admit. Anyway, a lot of you had recommended the Eufy X10 Pro, so that's what we've bought. And if this is a bad purchase, it's your fault. And when I looked into it, it vacuums, it mops, it's got roller brushes, so hopefully it can give a gentle but deep clean. It also boasts of having 8,000 PA of suction for deep carpet and rug cleaning, AIC obstacle avoidance that recognises over 100 common household items, even at night, and also uses LiDAR navigation for precise room mapping, and its Omni dock is meant to handle it all, like emptying debris, washing and hot air drying the pads. But let's see if it actually lives up to the hype. And Amazon had a discount of £150 off. So let's see what it looks like and whether it can cope with hyperactive border collies. Now normally I'd sweep up before I hit record, but we've purposely left it for a few days. There's quite a few dust bunnies here, so we'll see what it can deal with. So the first thing I'm sure you want to know is, what do you get inside? It's even got instructions of unboxing. So to get the manual, we're going to scan the QR code now. App download. Now while that's installing, let's talk about how setting it up went. Now we found it really simple. First, create an account using your email and password, then select your device from the list. Now assuming you've already unboxed it, plug in the base and place the RoboVac on it. And this starts the connection process. And from there, just follow the prompts to enable permissions, enter your Wi-Fi network password, and you can change things like voice language, whether you want a deep clean and such, which we'll talk about later. It was all quick and straightforward anyway. So while the app is installing on both of our phones, I'm going to open it. Okie doke. So there is a safety information booklet. Does anyone read those? This comes out. Oh, it's heavy, heavy-ish. And that looks like the actual vacuum. There is a plug, some plastic tracing, and look at that. Now it does come in black as well as white, but we went for this one because it was a little bit cheaper. I'm hoping it doesn't discolour over time. Let me know if yours has. Ooh, look at this. It's like little towelette, like robe material. Oh, it's weird. When you lift it up, wheels come out. Check that out. Because when you rest it down, then it sinks in. There's your little brushes there as well. But it says, remove the sticker before use or the robot will not work normally. The AI processes data locally to protect your privacy. We've got to keep that clean now as well. Black would have shown up dust equally as much, I'm sure. Right, there's your cable. There's a blue sticker here as well, actually. Oh, it's just protection. So I'll take those out. Oh, look! And some sensors. So now it wants me to take this out. This doesn't look like anything else in there. So let's unwrap the base. So Mr. GCD thinks this looks like a ramp. Yes. It's starting to look like some sort of air purifier. I don't know if it's the lighting, but this is starting to look a bit off-white. Without looking at the manual, I want to start opening things. So that looks like where the dust gets sucked up. There's a clean water tank. Okay. And a dirty water tank. So I'm sure we'll get to know that over time. So I guess from now on, we're going to be responsible for filling the clean water tank, emptying the dirty water tank, and replacing or just emptying the dust collection. But before I show you Eufy in action, This week I've partnered with Wild, who create refillable deodorants with natural ingredients to help cut down on single-use plastic. Now this really matters to me because the last 10 months I've made huge lifestyle changes. I've ditched ultra-processed food, I've started growing my own veg and switched to non-toxic products because a close family member just developed an autoimmune condition out of the blue. But with all the DIY that I do, I've honestly struggled to find a deodorant that works just after a couple of hours of manual labour. And to be honest, Wild was actually next to my shopping list because there's no aluminium salt, no parabens, and it gives me 24-hour protection. They're also vegan and cruelty-free, and I love their personalised cute cases. I'm using coconut and vanilla, and Mr. TCD is using fresh cotton and sea salt, and I just can't get enough of the smells. So when I run out, I'll definitely be ordering more, along with their refillable body wash and lip balm. And if you'd like to try them too, you can get 20% off all of Wild products by using my code CARPENTER20, and you can find a link in the description, or you can scan my QR code now on the screen. And thank God I don't smell bad anymore. The other thing I've not really looked into is whether these are reusable or I can get a recyclable type thing. And that, I'm guessing, just goes home over there. It's got a dirty mark on it. The cable goes at the back of there. So I'm going to take it to its designated home from now on. So I'm going to plug it in. So I need to fill the fresh water tank, and we bought the Eufy Clean multi-surface cleaner recommended from Amazon. It's asking for 10 ml of the cleaning fluid and 2 litres of water. And that is pretty much a full cap. I didn't fill it right to the top because I didn't want to spill it. So in future, I'm just going to go with a cap full. And it smells very nice. So I'm adding 2 litres, and I'm curious if that goes up to the max line. The max line on this is actually probably about 3 litres, I think. I think in the future, I'm never going to remember 2 litres. I'm just going to use a cap full of this and just fill up to the max line. It just makes sense to me. Right, that's clipped on. So I'm going to put it back. So now that's done, I believe that it's going to be mapping the room, but it's asked us to pick up anything off the floor. And I've spotted some sandals. So I think everything is off the floor within reason. I just thought though, in the future, we might start picking furniture where things can actually reach underneath because it can't go there and get those dusty bits. And all the doors are open, ready. So I'm going to leave you to Mr. TCD to sort out the mapping. Right now, it's scanning our home to build an efficient cleaning route, but it got confused and stuck on one of our big shaggy rugs. It's trying to rotate. It took a few tries, then decided to change its tactic. And while it does its mapping, you can see the layout constantly evolving while it learns more about its surroundings and identifies which rooms are which. And if it gets it wrong, you can manually change the names. But after a month of using it, this is how the floor plan looks now. And aside from carpet and rug detection, you can edit the map to tell it what type of floor you have, add furniture, and set no-go zone areas if needed. Now let's talk about its features and how it actually performed. Now, because our old Henry Hoover broke a few weeks before, we wanted to first try the full deep clean setting with max suction, medium water, and edge-hugging mopping all over the house, which, by the way, you can adjust the settings to your needs. So it started its mopping mode, and it knows that it's hardwood. And I was worried about it getting too sapped, but actually, that's not bad at all. But another thing that I was worried about was whether it would get the rug wet. But because it knew it was there, it raised the mops and switched to vacuuming mode. However, it definitely missed bits of grass around the dog bed, although I must admit I find this rug difficult to hoover anyway with dog fur and stuff. We need to go over it several times. Also, you can see it's sweeping under the threshold nicely, but we will, unfortunately, always have to sweep this manually. Yes, I know what you're going to say. Should have fit the French doors to floor level. And once the dust collection gets full, it takes it back to its base to suck up into the dust bag and clean and dry its mops when it needs. But whatever it picked up looked quite disgusting in the tray, which we found we had to clean out quite regularly. More on that later. We started its clean late afternoon, and because it's a large bungalow, it took about 2 hours to complete. And so at this point it was quite dark outside, which is where the light kicks in so it can see properly. Now, I can't fault it for the bathroom floor here. I'd been a bit heavy-handed with the polymer glue when I stuck down the wooden flooring, and so this required me to come along and scrape it off later. But with no transition thresholds installed anywhere yet, it took a few attempts to get back up on our 23mm high flooring. That's 15mm plus self-levelling. But other areas where we didn't use as much self-levelling, it didn't struggle at all. Obviously, once we've laid flooring in the rest of the rooms, this won't be an issue, and we can update them in the app. Another feature that Mr. TCD likes is that you can also spot clean using the remote control feature on the app. But personally, I do think that's a bit gimmicky, because by the time you've controlled it, you could have just gone and spot cleaned that anyway, and I personally prefer the idea that it's working while I'm too busy to vacuum. I'm tired. So it's been working on and off through the day purely because when we first tried it, it didn't have a full charge. It's been going back to its station. And we've now got a notification saying that the water level of the station's cleaning tray is abnormal. And there's a red light over there. Oh yeah. So even though you emptied that earlier, it's now full of water. Why is that full of water? So even though Mr. TCD cleaned this maybe about an hour ago or more, I can't remember now, I'm surprised that's quite full. It's going to tilt backwards, isn't it? This looks like a juggling act. Yeah, look at that. I've now got water at the back there because of it. I'm just going to chuck this outside. Oh, crap. I'm spilling it now. I don't want to spill it on my lovely floor. This isn't cool. Is that because this dirty water tank is full? If you've got one of these, let me know. Is this normal? Although I've been using it a lot today with a heavy clean because it's the first go with it. I'm leaving that behind there. All right, I'll leave you to it. But what we didn't know yet was this was just the start of it. First though, let's talk about battery life. Well, after its major first clean, we then set up a daily vacuum and mop, 7:30 each morning, except for Sundays, give it a day off. But because we're in a large bungalow, we found it needed to go back to the base a few times to recharge. It couldn't do it all in one. So if you're in a 2 or 3 story house, you might be all right with that, although I don't know how you deal with taking it up the stairs.
Charging.
So we decided to only ask it to clean the rooms that we regularly use and decrease the suction. But after a day or two, I noticed it didn't perform very well around edges of the rugs. So as necessity, we increased it back to max suction. But high suction or not, it doesn't seem to be very good at handling the dust and debris around its own docking station. So it's not perfect. Next, we wanted to know, how did it handle pet hairs and my long human hair? What's going on here, Hans?
Roller brush stuck. Remove and clean the roller brush.
During a month of use, we found we had to detangle the hairs on the roller brush about once or twice a week. Oh, there's a banana chip stuck in there. And anyone who knows me personally will tell you that hairs like this make me want to gag. But I had to man up, snip it with scissors. Ugh, gross. Ugh, gross. Then start removing the roller brush cover to take it out to give it a more thorough de-hair. Ugh. I found it was very intuitive and I didn't read a manual for this, but later I learned that under accessory services on the app, it gives you thorough video guides on how to clean and service all the parts, or purchase to replace after so many hours of use. Although I do think this is probably going to be a money-making scheme, and I don't plan to replace anything if they're not quite broken. Whether that's against their warranty policy, I don't know, but it probably is. As for the dust bags, so we've been using Eufy for just over a week now, and we've never had to change the bag at all. And we've just got a notification to say, RoboVac, the station's dust bag is full, or an object is stuck. Please check. Right, well, let's check. So I'm guessing I just lift that up. Oh, I like how it closes when you open it. Oh, that's quite a little smart system. But yeah, it does feel full. It's full to the top there. And we've got a replacement of this because it feels good quality. It feels a shame to chuck that away as it is. I'd be tempted just to do that and empty it in the bin. But anyway, we've got a replacement. I don't want to chuck it away. I might try and empty that in a minute. We do need to replace it before the RoboVac gets back. So we bought a pack of 10 replacement ones. I'll leave a price on the screen if you're wondering, because I don't know what we paid. So let's go and replace it. And I'm going to put that in there. It's nice and easy. Yay. There. Done. Now, because I'm outside, I can see how full it is. And don't forget, this is our first clean, so there's probably more dust than there should be. But actually, looking at that, it really only looks about 2/3 full. It's not the fullest. I'm wondering if there's any that you can buy to keep reusing like we did for our Henry Hoover. Yeah, this might take a while. All that dog hair. And there could be glass in here actually, so it's probably not a good idea. I'm leaving that. I'll look for some reusable ones online. And other maintenance required are wiping the sensors at the front and underneath after so many hours, replace the filter hidden inside the top. I emptied whatever was left in the dustbin first, closed it, and the filter is just above that, and it was smothered. Yeah, don't drop it on the floor like I did. Instead of replacing, I brushed the dust off, then put it back. And what we're over familiar with, cleaning the tray when required.
Charging.
Alexa, ask RoboVac to clean the living room. Thankfully, Alexa automatically found Eufy, so asking it to do a clean as and when is very useful. Then I worked on a spot clean for my isolated incident. But after 43 hours of use, we also learnt you need to be prepared for the Eufy catching cables and dragging things across the floor like my phone backup charger. Obviously can't go under all of your furniture, which will make you think twice about designs that you want to buy in the future. You'll get alerts while you're out saying, I'm stuck, and it's knocked over a mop and got stuck on it. Then you need to give it the walk of shame back to its docking station because it's tired itself out trying to set itself free. It also gets stuck on rugs. Oh. Particularly those shaggy ones that you find in bathrooms around toilets and sinks.
Roller brush stuck. Remove and clean the roller brush. Heading home to wash box.
Like any vacuum, it's loud, especially on deep suction, so I sometimes have to pause it when I need quiet. It obviously can't vacuum behind doors unless you trap it in a room and let it out after. And there's some areas that you may think you'll benefit from a little ramp so it can get into other rooms of the house. Oh, and meeting its enemy, man's best friend. Leave it, come on. What's up? It's okay. It's all right. Stop it. Out. Out. Come on. Come on, it's okay. You're not going to get attacked. Maybe in time hands will learn to live with Eufy.
It's run out of clean water. Empty. Mate, you've left a mess. Look at this. I'm not sure about leaving it in here. I don't expect this to happen brand new. Oh, there's a right puddle under there. It's not that full, it's only up to there. I've googled it and it says something's clogged, and I thought it can't be clogged. We've had it 5 minutes. And I just want to lift it up and show you the puddling. I don't think we can have it in here. Look, it's making a right mess. We're not meant to have water sitting on this. We've got to clean it up immediately.
Calling Anchor Innovations customer service. For Eufy, press 3. Is it possible you can provide a short video recording the Hoover issue? Yeah, so later I will send out the email, and once you receive my email, please give us a reply with a short video, so we can further to see which part might be having some issue, and then we can further help you from there.
So after cleaning up the mess, this is the video we sent to Eufy of it failing to suck up the water.
The water level of the station's cleaning tray is now full. Positioning.
And Eufy replied the next day offering a replacement base station. But before we got that reply, we noticed the flooding issue had stopped and the wastewater was going exactly where it should have been. So at that point we agreed to go ahead if it happened again. But from this experience, we feel we're in safe hands if anything was to go wrong again. Now, I still don't really know what caused the issue in the first place. So I went on ChatGPT and asked what it thought the most common or likely problem was for a brand new machine. And it said misaligned spring ball valve in the clean water tank can cause constant water flow. Now, I thought it would have been to do with the dirty water tank. I just don't know, but other issues could have been overfilled clean water tank, loose or poorly seated hoses or tank lids which can break seals and cause leakages, worn or damaged gaskets seals, doubt it was anything like that, firmware glitch, but everything was all up to date because it updated when we installed it, or a faulty base station valve or flow sensor. So I still don't know, but if this happens again, we'll be contacting them. But over the last month of use, no, it's not perfect, but I think this machine is ideal for someone like me who just hates hoovering. And it's just great walking around barefoot, not worried about bits of grit and DIY dust. I don't have to worry about living like a scruff bag anymore. Other pros is that we've noticed we're more likely to pick up after ourselves at the end of the day because we know that we don't want obstacles for the Eufy. It's also making us think twice about furniture it can't get under because we've still got a dust bunny here. And I'm definitely glad we went with white because it matches the furnishings. I think stark black would have just looked very noticeable. Now, while we've been using it, we haven't noticed any increase in our bills, but we've got solar and it's very sunny outside. So we might not really notice until the winter, but I don't think it's going to be a major issue. But one thing that we do know is we can actually have it charging overnight during Economy 7 when the rate is cheaper. And I was quite critical in the early days doing rugs and stuff, but actually going over it, I can't see any issues here. And there was one rug in the hall that was just caked in dog fur, and it isn't anymore. And this is the rug that we've had to go over it so many times, maybe about 5 times in one session, because it's one of those magic rugs. It's not pretty, but it's been really useful over the years just for dog paw prints and us coming in with muddy boots. So overall, I think it's been a very wise investment. It's like my own personal little maid. Okay, it takes 2 hours to vacuum the whole bungalow, but that's not 2 hours of man hours. That's time I've saved doing something else. So yeah, you might think, oh, I can hoover so much quicker, and I actually like hoovering, and that is fine, but that isn't me. So let me know below, do you think a robot hoover is perfect for your lifestyle, or would it be a waste of money to you? Anyway, I'll be interested in hearing your thoughts and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.